Greetings, Internet. My name is Chris, and this is Black Desert Online. I wanted to make this video here because I recently just hit level 50. Actually, it happened yesterday. I've been playing the game for about 50, 60 hours or so. And these are my sort of final impressions on it, and I'm gonna explain to you why I probably won't be playing this game very much. So as you can see right here, I'm just in a house that I've made, decorated it. It's really nice. I like that. Like that's one of the really cool features, I think. But there are a lot of problems with this game, at least in my opinion, and I'm gonna explain these problems to you. And there's just gonna be random footage in the background. Some of it will be related to some of the problems, but I'll make sure to point them out when they occur. Alright, so first off, the game is extremely grindy. That's probably my main annoyance with it. You might be thinking, well, that's not so weird. I mean, it's an MMO. MMOs are supposed to be grindy. But this game is literally grindy in every single aspect of the game. It's literally, if you want to level up, you have to grind. That's how it is. It's like, oh, you do 10 quests. Oh, all those quests together give you, what, 2% of a max level? Wow, and it took me, what, 3 hours to do them? Oh, that's weird. So basically the game is built around monsters giving the most XP, which means you just have to kill a shit ton of monsters to level up. And that's just how it is, which is not great. And then you hit level 50 and you think, well, now it might be different. But no, it's just harder to level. When you hit level 50, you hit the softcap, which basically means you just earn less XP from killing enemies, but you can still level up. I think you can get all the way to level 60. It will just take you a very, very long time, which means the grinding gets even more intense. And I'm not really a fan of that, mainly just because I think it makes the game really boring if you just have to keep doing the same thing over and over. It's like I was killing these catfish men for 5 hours straight just to level. I mean, it did give me like 5 or 6 levels, but it was really boring, and I split it I split that grinding out over like 2 or 3 days, just because I couldn't sit there for that many hours in a row just grinding. I think some people might enjoy that, but that's like one of my main annoyances with the game. And the thing is, as soon as you hit level 50, you get a ton of quests. You're like, oh cool, I get new quests to do stuff, but all those quests are just kill 100 of these, kill 80 of these, kill so and so of these. I think you probably even see it on the right side of the screen at the moment. It's really grindy and not in the way that I would like. Also, when you hit level 50, you might think, well, now I can do endgame. But what is the endgame? See, that's a question I've also been asking a lot, because I have no idea what the fuck the endgame is. I really like the PvP aspect of the game, but I've seen nothing of it. You can do guild wars where everyone in the opposite guild that you're fighting with will be flagged, but I've not had the pleasure of taking part of that yet. But it just seems random. Like, is that what we're supposed to do? Or are we just supposed to fight guilds until we fucking die of boredom? I mean, I don't understand. There's also supposed to be siege PvP. I'm not sure if they've included that in the game yet on the NA and EU servers, or version I should say, but I don't think that's in the game yet. And then there's no real PvE gameplay, or endgame I should say, which is really strange considering leveling up requires you just to kill a ton of enemies for XP. I mean, you don't kill players for XP, you kill NPCs, but then when you hit level 50 it's like, oh, there's no dungeons, there's no raids. It's weird, I think, at least. Here's another problem that I've been having. I don't know if other people have this problem, but it happens when you have high latency. I have about 200 on the NA server, and if you notice, my character keeps rubber banding. It's not super evident in this clip and the next one, but in the third one, it's really, really obvious. See, boop, rubber band, run through here, rubber band. This is really annoying. Imagine playing from Australia or New Zealand and you only have NA or EU servers. Your ping is gonna be between 3 and 500 no matter what, which really gotta suck. This one here is really obvious. Okay, so I'm fighting a boss with knockback. I can't dodge the attacks before they happen, which means I'm literally just locked in this constant knockback from the boss. It knocks me back, I think, 8 times in a row. Look how ridiculous it is. There's no way I can avoid it, because I can't react fast enough to avoid it, because my latency is what it is. And that's a really big problem with this game. The fact that like the latency, when it's too high, you start rubber banding, because when you're fighting other players, for example, all the attacks are really fast. If you get grabbed, that's a really fast animation. There's no real tells to the animation. And then when you have the rubber banding, that literally just results in you constantly getting like fucking flung back and forth because you have a little bit higher ping than the person you're fighting. Like, it'll happen even if the person you're fighting has 150 ping and you have 200, and that's a really, really big annoyance, and it really ruins like the really spectacular part of the game. So there's a lot of things I don't like about the game. Like, for example, if you want to improve your items, you have to pray to the RNG gods, and then when you lose an enchantment, it takes away durability, and then the only way to get durability back is to sacrifice an item of the same kind. Like, there's no how would I say it? There's no reasonable grind in the game. It's all like really strange stuff. It's like, oh, I can't just go do a dungeon, I can't just go do a raid to get really good items. No, I just have to get these black stones and then hope to God that my luck is with me. I mean, I don't know, it's just such a weird kind of endgame. I mean, I don't understand it really, and I don't know why people are really fascinated with it. I will say though, I've seen a lot of players join the game and leave immediately. The guild I'm in is a really good example of that. Like, I think today there was like 4 people out of 80 or 60 online. I think it's well, actually I think there's 70 people in the guild. There's 4 people online. Everyone else have been gone for over 2 or 3 days. And I mean, I don't know. It's just kind of annoying. So, I mean, there's a few good things I really like about the game. Like, I like the fact that the animations are really smooth. I like the fact that the combat is really skill dependent. But then at the same time, you have this weird system where you have these potions that you can spam every 5 seconds if you wanted to. Like, you literally have to make a rule when you're in a fight to say, let's do no potions, because otherwise it just becomes retarded. It's like, oh, who has the most potions? Who can spam them the fastest? Like, it just extends combat to such a ridiculous extent. Like, if you're fighting someone in the open world, like, this game does have open world PvP, which is nice, but when you fight someone in the open world, they can just constantly keep spamming potions, because it doesn't have to be rules when you're trying to kill someone. So, I don't know, I don't like that point. And also, the combat is kind of weird, whereas like it's skill dependent in a lot of ways. Like, you can do a lot of combos and stuff, but at the same time, if you have higher upgraded gear than someone else, you just have to hit them a few times and you kill them. Like, I've been fighting people that have 30 to 40 extra attack power than I have, or extra defense power than I have, you know, and they've just been wrecking my ass because they hit me a few times and I'm dead immediately. Like, there's a lot of cool duels I've had just today, but I just keep I don't know, I just keep losing to people that have really, really good gear, which is also annoying. Like, I'll show you a few duels here where I'm just fighting someone who's also a Valkyrie and who's almost the same skill setup as me. I think I have more attack power than he does, but he has more defense power. So we sort of equal out in that way, but he just kicks my ass because he's a better player. Like, that stuff is fine with me, but I hate when, you know, you just have better gear and you're a better player. I think that's stupid. Especially considering the massive amount of grind that's required to get better gear. You know, and the weird part is, like, I've had the gear I'm wearing right now, and this is the case for a lot of people. Like, the gear you're wearing, you've been wearing that since level 10, because you get it immediately, and then you're like, okay, I'll just keep this gear, and then the end game gear is basically that same piece of gear, just upgraded, and you can upgrade it up to level 15, I think, and then it can go to level 20, but I don't know if they have that in the game yet. But it's like more, well, it's harder to get it to level 20, but level 15 you can do without having to do anything special. It just requires a lot of investment in black stones and a lot of good fortune and fail-safe stacks and all kinds of really weird things. So I don't know, I really wanted to like this game, but it's just there's so many bad things about it. Like, I like the fact that the graphics looks nice, and I like the fact that the NPCs look nice. Like, the main achievement of this game, or the main achievements I should say, is the combat. The graphic look for an MMO. Like, for an MMO it looks really pretty. And then the character creator. I think the character creator is probably the best character creator I've ever seen. Like, I've yet to see a character that looks exactly like mine, which I really like. I like that a lot. I think it's really cool. It's basically like if you took, like a Bethesda RPG, took their character creator, made it a little bit more specific and refined, and then put that into an MMO. That's what it is. That's what it feels like, which is really nice, but I don't know. There's just so many bad things that don't outweigh, like, the good things don't outweigh the bad things, which is a problem, and which is why I probably won't be playing this game much. Because it's literally like, what I'm supposed to do now is grind blackstones and make my gear better, and then fucking grind my level higher. Like, I went grinding for 20 minutes and I got less than 2% of my level into level 50. Like, I got about 2% from killing, I think, 50 enemies or 60 enemies or so, and enemies that give more XP than normal enemies that you can kill really quickly, which is just, I don't know, it's just weird to me. Like, it's such a weird grindy game. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, it's a Korean game. Korean games and Asian games, MMOs specifically, are very grindy, because that's what people really like, and they don't like PvP that much. They like PvE more and that sort of stuff. I mean, PvP is a major part of this game, but it's just, I don't know, everything's just so grindy. I just can't stand it. And then you have this energy that you have to deal with as well, where it's like, oh, I want to level my cooking. Okay, you can only do it until you run out of energy. But what do you do then? Well, you can buy energy potions from a store, or you can just park your character somewhere and go AFK while you restore energy. It just seems so strange to me. Like, there's so many annoying systems in this game that I just don't understand at all. There are cool systems as well, like, you lose XP if you die. You have a chance of your enchant gems to destroy when you die. Like, really cool things. I like that sort of stuff where it's like, oh, I have to watch out. If I get killed because I'm being reckless, then I might lose XP, or I might lose, I might lose my enchant gems that cost a fortune, that sort of thing. And I think that's really cool. But there's also just so many bad things. It's just like, oh, I want to level my horse. Okay, well, you have one skill to start with. Okay, you want to make this horse remember this skill. Okay, you have to do this mini game 200 times. I think, like, to learn a skill on my horse, I had to do the same thing for 40 minutes. I shit you not. I had to do the same thing for 40 minutes to level it from I think 60% to 100%. It took me so long. I mean, and that's to get a skill, and I can't even figure out how to get another skill. And then if you have to breed a horse, you have to find, a male horse and a female horse, and then you have to breed those, and then you might get a better horse, and then you can take that better horse and breed it again, and then get an even better horse. There's just so many really grindy aspects of the game that I don't like at all. And then you have the Pearl store, which is their cash store, which has a shit ton of items that are just, like, they may say, oh, it's not pay to win, but there's so many items that benefit players really well. Like, I pre-ordered the game, and I got a shield that gave me plus 100 stamina. You might think, oh, stamina's not that important. Well, it is for some things. Like, it's good for sprinting, it's good for certain moves that use stamina, and it gave me 100 plus, which when you start at level 1, that's a straight 10% increase. Like, just from having a fucking costume skin on my shield. And, like, there are certain things that I mean, some of the things that costumes give are not that good, but there's some things that they give are quite good, like the 100 stamina. I don't remember what is on the other stuff, but I mean, there's also useless things like you get extra jump height on costume boots and stuff, but I don't know. It just seems weird. And then there's a lot of things where like you get armor for your horses that make them faster and make them take more damage, and there's just a bunch of stuff you can't get without having to pay for it through the cash store, which I think is really strange for a pay to play game. Like, you don't subscribe to the game, but you have to buy it to play it. And then, I mean, I can keep listing all these things. And then there's the trading item, or the trading system. Like, that's also one of my big annoyances. I think this is probably the last thing I'm going to talk about before I'm ending this video, because I can keep saying a lot of things, and I'm not sure how much good it will do. I'm just going to state my opinion on the trade system, and then I'm going to end this video, because it's getting kind of ridiculous. But yeah, so the trading system in this game is completely locked. The player has absolutely no control. So the way you do trading is you put stuff into the auction house, and there's an auction house for each of the major cities. You put stuff into the auction house, and then you can set it between a minimum and a maximum price that's decided by the game itself. And this is a huge problem, because anyone that understands supply and demand will immediately go and say, well, how does this make sense? And it doesn't, because, for example, I'm looking for a piece of armor to repair my armor, and to do that I have to buy like the identical piece of armor and then use that to repair it. But the thing is, the demand for that piece of armor is so high that as soon as it enters the freaking auction house, it's gone immediately, because there's like always 10 people looking for that, or more probably. And the supply compared to the demand of that item is too low, which means the price should be higher than it is, but it costs 200,000 silver, and 200,000 silver is not it's not a lot, which means that it'll be gone immediately because it costs nothing, even though the demand is really high. And you can't go into the zone chat and say, or channel chat or whatever it's called, and say, oh, I have this piece of item, or I have this piece of gear, I want to sell it for this price. You can't do that because you can't trade to other players. Well, actually, that's not true. You can trade to all the players, but the only thing you can trade is healing potions. I don't understand that. Like, why would you intentionally lock players out of trading? Trading is such an important mechanic of MMOs. Like, it's both social and it's also sort of intelligent. Like, it's an intelligent way to play the game, I think. You can do trading, you can undermine people, you can buy out the entire supply of a certain item and resell it for a higher price to gain favor of the market. You know, that sort of thing. I think it's really important in MMOs, but they just don't have that in this game, which I think is weird. Like, they just completely restricted it, and it just makes for some really annoying stuff, like, oh, I can sell this item, but I have to put it in at such a shitty price that the effort I went through to get it is completely, like, it's a waste, so I'm not going to do it. Like, that's why you'll never see, you know, raw produce on the market, because even though there's a really, really high supply, or really high demand, I mean, on, let's say something like corn, even though there's a really high demand for that, because you need to use that in a lot of basic cooking recipes, there won't be that big of a supply, because you need to use energy to get the corn, and energy is it's this limited thing that you have, so you're better off using those corn for yourself, because the price you can sell it at basically means nothing, because you can sell them for such a low price, or like the max price you can set them in as is so low that it's not gonna matter at all. Like, it's not a good amount of money. Like, you'd get that same amount of money from killing, you know, 20 mobs than you would from selling 100 corn, which is stupid. Anyway, so yeah, so these were some of my opinions on things. I think the game had a lot of promise, and I thought it would be, you know, like a really big contender for MMO of the year, but it just turns out it wasn't. Not for me, at least. There's just too many bad aspects of the game. It's too grindy. There's too many of the core systems that are just poorly constructed. The combat is awesome. I wish they would take the combat out of this game, take the character creation out of this game, and make a completely new game out of it. Because it's a waste to be used in an MMO like this. Anyway, thanks for watching.